I believe.
No, didn't they resolve their lawsuit? Didn't they?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if they did or not. So,
I think that they would have, but
all right. It says that I am offline, but I should be
it says you're on.
online.
It says you're on.
Oh, all right.
I'm watching it right now.
Are you now?
Yeah.
How does it sound?
Let me turn it up.
Sounds great, right?
Oh, it's perfect.
All right, perfect. Great.
Perfecto.
Perfect, perfect. All right, I see us on. It looks good. Looks good.
Crispy.
Crispy, crispy.
I'm not wearing an anime shirt, but that's okay.
I am, cause that's what cause that's what I do.
Watch anime.
And read manga.
Hey, it's a new you.
It's a new me. That's for sure, dude. I'm gonna hit
It's
start
different.
recording
It's something
as well.
to do.
It's something.
It brings you back to the old times when you binge DBZ 8 times.
Yeah. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. We have the Slice of Life podcast. A Jensen, obviously, along with C Jensen. Nando's on vacation this week, so we're giving him a little break.
He's in his bando.
He's visiting family, so shout out to Nando if he's tuning in. He better be tuning in. And we'll get back to him. How you been, Carla?
I've been good. I'm glad we're hitting something a little different. You know, you and I relate to this. We kind of grew up on it, but it's kind of a topic that Nando doesn't know much about either. And it doesn't seem like he's gonna end up watching it. You know, it is a longer series.
Series, yeah. It's
long.
5 seasons for the normal one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just the first one.
Yeah, I know, for real. So, today we're gonna be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. We're gonna do a little bit of a deep dive, kind of talk about the overall arcs, kind of our favorite topics, favorite characters,
favorite decks,
favorite cards
mm.
to use.
Spell trap and monster cards specifically for the original series. We probably won't get in depth on the later series just because there's a whole new concept and kind of confusing.
Yeah, for real.
Especially after GX. After GX was fine, that's when they brought in more fusions and stuff like that. But after that, it's a cluster mess.
No, it's good.
It's good, but it'd be hard to talk about, you know, explaining the rules, especially for people that haven't watched it or actually played. You know, because a lot of people have been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for forever. People are still playing. A lot of people on YouTube still go to tournaments. Kind of blew up with Pokemon, especially earlier on this year.
It's kind of big again too, because of when
COVID.
Not only that, with the release of Duel Monsters or whatever it's called, Master Duelist, Master
Duelist, and then you also had Duel Links on your phone.
Yeah, so it's kind of
play right from your phone and not worry about actually collecting cards, and they got the codes just like Pokemon cards do. So you can actually start playing online.
For real. So we're gonna kind of discuss mostly the main arcs. Duelist Kingdom, Battle City. We'll talk about the ceremonial battle. Not really much about Virtual World or Walking with Dragons or Grand Championship, because those are kind of more anime only, just based on where they were in the writing of the manga and the release.
I'll be leaning on you. You're kind of the expert in Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Dragon Ball. I'd say you're the expert on those.
Hey. It's what I am.
It's what I do, baby.
It's what I am here for. This is what I grew up on. I'm into it for sure.
For sure.
For those who don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! It is a story about a young boy named Yugi, who lives with his grandfather. who was I don't know if he was technically just a regular archaeologist or if he was an Egyptologist, but he was in Egypt and he found the tomb of an ancient pharaoh. His grandpa's name's Solomon. When they notice that things are going wrong, he ends up finding this whole room of ancient artifacts. Millennium pieces is what they're called. And he ends up taking home the Millennium Puzzle.
Right, and everyone's split. The rest of the profits.
It's all broken. He doesn't know how to fix it, so it just sits in his room until Yugi is eventually 11 or 12 or something like
11
that.
Or 12.
Somewhere around there. He's like a teenager, young teen kid. He's able to figure it out and puts it together, becomes basically possessed by the pharaoh, Atem, and then it just follows his journey along that path, using dual monster cards. So the way that it got turned into dual monsters was before the pharaoh gave the power to his children, Atem, and there was another one as well, I forget his name off the top of my head, gave him the power to summon monsters to defeat enemies, coming from Yami Bakura, and then they would summon them on stone tablets, and then it got turned into a card when Solomon found out in the exploration and all that kind of stuff, and then it goes through that story. Kaiba brings it back in card form, and then so on and so forth. Somehow the cards get possessed to actually.
Then you see the cards flying from the sky.
Then the cards.
The cards just dropping, and somehow they come in. Somehow these card collectors end up having packs for them.
Yeah.
They were still buying packs, and I don't know if they would just put randomize and kind of just like it does in the actual store. But then you got specialized shops like Yugi's grandfather.
Yeah.
Where he has packs, but he also has his rarest cards that he's found, especially throughout his days. He has them in a bookshelf.
Yeah.
And the card sleeves, and like, this is really rare. This is worth this much.
Right. So all the ones that we saw as children, just so you know, Carlo, there's actually 7 books prior to where Duelist Kingdom picks up. So where Duelist Kingdom starts, there's actually 7 books prior that basically show like the lead up Solomon and getting everything like that.
Right, they kind of do like a movie that, or kind of like a flashback that explains it a little bit.
Yeah,
in the original series, but it doesn't really pick up on the slight details, right? Because you have Yugi, or Yugi Moto is the kid version, and then it's Yami Yugi, which is the pharaoh.
Correct.
It kind of just like, oh, you put together the puzzle, I'm just you.
Correct.
Which kind of makes sense. They got the same name. I think it must have been what people call destiny in anime.
That's right.
Like, he's kind of the reincarnation. That's why he's able to.
It's all about the heart of the cards, dude.
Heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards. So technically, Duelist Kingdom is the 4th arc in the series of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I mean, to start off with Duelist Kingdoms, first duel.
It's a good arc, dude.
I will say first duel Yami. For people that don't know, Seto Kaiba, he's the main bad guy in the original series.
So you think?
So you think.
He's rich, no good. He's the capitalist of dual monsters. He's profited.
He's
the creator.
Yep. And original duel, they don't follow the rules at all.
Right.
There was one turn, I think. So to have star monsters, you have to sacrifice certain monsters. One of the duels, Seto Kaiba goes, I summon a Blue Eyes. He had no cards on the field, first turn. And he goes, oh, wait, I summoned 2 more Blue Eyes.
Listen.
It's like, what?
Yeah,
like, wait a minute, what? First episode, I think. I think it was literally first episode, second episode.
Yeah, so, I mean, the first episode, comes out and all the kids are at school or whatever, right? And then Kaiba is at his grandfather's shop asking to buy Solomon's blue eyes, and Solomon won't have it, but he's like, nah, I'm not selling it, it's my prized possession or whatever. And he's like, all right, well, duel me for it. And Solomon, fucking thinking that he's just some punk kid, duels him for it and ends up losing. And that's where Yami steps in. But you're right, though.
They don't follow the rules
he
at
does
all.
summon 3 blue eyes in the same turn. And then Yugi summons Dark Magician as
and
well.
Summon Skull.
Without sacrificing any monsters.
Right.
Fun fact, there is a thing called Ancient Rules, an actual card that does let you summon higher star monsters without tributing. It's a spell, so it's a field spell.
It's a field spell you put up in, if people don't know, we don't have a picture, but you got your monster slots, spell slots, and then you got a field spell slot in your top left.
That's right.
And that one is continuous until destroyed.
That's right. Yeah, so it's called Ancient Rules. And yeah, I guess that's kind of plot armor for the first duel. Really.
Let me tell you what, they did not play that card.
No, they did not. They did not play that.
I wonder in the contract, did they sign we're playing as Ancient Rules?
Right.
Which could be, set up for the Pharaoh's return, kind of.
Yeah, I think. So what does Yami win by? Yami won by
It was very
Exodia.
little.
He won Exodia.
Exodia, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like about to lose, and he goes, "Heart of the cards."
Yeah.
Oh, Exodia, I win. For people that don't know Exodia, you collect all 5 pieces: 2 legs, 2 arms, and the head.
Right.
You win the game automatically as long as you have them either in the hand or on the field.
Right.
Can't count in the graveyard. Nowadays, people have plenty of spell cards that they could just keep drawing cards the whole time until they get Exodia and they win. They only need 1 turn.
Yeah, no, that's a funny duel. Yeah, crazy duel. That was a fun duel though.
After that, it doesn't get Exodia again though because it got thrown in the river.
So yeah, so the next subsequent part, Yugi, they invited to go to the Duelist Kingdom because Kaiba's like, I need to prove and
that I'm better.
Rebound from my loss against Yugi, right? So I'm gonna host a big tournament and this and that. So he sets up duelists from all over the world come and duel, and we're gonna do fun things. And granted, so Kaiba did not invent the card game, that was Pegasus, but he did invent the 3D tech to get the monsters to come alive.
To have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Not alive, but
when you had a Millennium Piece back in the Pharaoh time, you would do a stone tablet, and it's the same thing. But they weren't going for killing each other's monsters. It was more of a way to defend themselves. Kind of like actual battles, sort of like Pokemon. That's how it wasn't originally. And they turned into this card game for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah. So, to get on the Duelist Kingdom, right? Was it Pegasus that started it, or was it Kaiba?
It was Pegasus, and Pegasus is also rich. He has the Millennium Eye.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how he got it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it goes into detail about where he got the eye, or if he bought it off one of the people.
You know what happened, right? This is what happened. I remember.
You remember?
So after Kaiba lost, he was basically shell shock, and Pegasus came in and did like a hostile takeover of Kaiba Corp. And
well, he took his brother.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Mokubu and everything, but then they wanted to be like, hey, you can get your reputation back if you beat Yuki. So that's where it started. But Yugi didn't want to do it. So this led to Pegasus trapping Solomon in a videotape. Do you remember that?
Yep. Well, it was a videotape, but also known later on as the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
I believe it was the Shadow Realm, but he was able to keep
his soul was
himself
trapped in the videotape, basically.
Yep. And he goes, "I'll break it," or
yeah, and to kind of get like Yugi to agree to come, right? Pegasus was like, "I'm taking your grandpa's soul," basically.
Yep.
Unless you duel me. So they actually kind of dueled. Pegasus and Yugi dueled in the videotape, which was kind of weird.
Right.
But, you know, that's not bad. And Yugi lost, technically.
Right.
Pegasus won by default, so he kept his grandfather's soul, basically. Which is wild to see, kind of as a kid.
At a 12-year-old, he'd be like, "Wow, I just lost my grandfather, all because of me."
Yes.
Oh, I suck.
So they go on a ship, right? And then Weevil and Joey and Rex and Mai and Yugi and Tia and Tristan.
They play the stars.
The whole squad. Yami, Bakura is there. They all get together. Yeah, Kaiba is doing something up in like the VIP suite, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he bought his way through the first round.
Yeah. And then Weevil takes Yugi's Exodia cards and tosses them off the fucking boat.
Yep, and he goes, "Haha, you can't beat me now."
Right.
Kind of a dickhead.
So Weevil's kind of cool though, because that insect deck is nasty with Insect Queen and Maneater Bug.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that. So one of the decks I always use while we were playing, first deck I ever created was an insect deck. It was Insect Queen, Maneater Bugs. Maneater Bug, if it's flipped,
right,
the monster card that attacked, it's automatically destroyed. You know, it's not high powerful monster, but you didn't take damage, and you have a chance of taking out a very strong monster.
Yeah, and Weevil's
same thing with a 4-star Ladybug.
Yep.
Which was
4-star Ladybug of Doom. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
And you would attack that, and every 4-star monster on the opponent's side would die. Sent to the graveyard.
Jesus.
You're broken. I think that card's banned now.
Probably. So Weevil's deck was actually really good though. Weevil beat Rex in one turn or some crazy shit like that.
Yep.
He
was able to summon.
He used Vortex, which negated one of Rex's like first attacks, and then he had something, a card that applied to a different card.
Yeah, it was like a buff card or something.
Yeah, and then it was a little one shot. It was wild.
Well, back then, a lot of duels then were only 4,000 LP, which would be their life points.
Yeah.
You know, when you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you normally did 8,000. You know, the actual card game.
Right.
Especially in tournaments. Tournaments is 8,000. Give people a chance to play, kind of. At least get one turn.
Shit, man. Yeah, there's a lot. So, Yami and Weevil dueled, right?
Yep.
And then what happened there is Yugi won.
Yep.
With the heart of the cards, obviously.
They get stars. As soon as you collect your stars after beating someone, you basically take them. And there's only a certain amount of stars, so you have to fight everyone until you get the star amount, and then you can go to the next stage. So how that worked is you had to collect a certain number of stars, and every time you beat an opponent, you would take their number of stars. Was it 7?
It was something like that. So,
or 6.
So Yugi would have to do that. He beat Weevil, took both his stars. Weevil's out of the tournament. It took 30 turns though. So let's not.
That was a long duel.
Let's not trip. Like it's a hell of a
That's
duel.
a good battle.
Summon Skull took that one.
That won it for him.
So that was that was a big one.
Something Skull's insane.
And then we had the first meeting of the two lovebirds, Joey Wheeler.
Oh, Joey Wheeler, one of the greatest duelists ever. My God.
And Joey won. You know what? My deck is crazy, right? So my deck is a Harpy Ladies deck,
Harpy Ladies,
and it's all around it. Elegant Egotist is a crazy card, which turns Harpy Ladies into Harpy Ladies and Harpy's pet dragon.
Yep. I liked her deck. It wasn't about how strong. This was the first deck, I think. It wasn't about how strong your monsters are, but about getting more monsters out on the field very quick.
Yeah. So
because Harpy Lady's sister is only 2150, I believe. That was the attack.
20
or something like
23. 23. I'm pretty sure.
Which is still weak compared to, Dark Magician.
Yeah, and Blue Eyes and all that type of stuff. So I would agree with you that she has the more is more. You
could say the same thing about Joey Wheeler.
Challenge when it comes to.
Joey Wheeler only had like 1,000 attack cards.
Yeah, I know.
And he's like, Red Eyes, go.
But I wouldn't say it was the first deck that was like effects won it, because I think Weevil's deck really focused around Insect Queen and like the giant cocoon and all of that type of stuff.
Cards, I feel like.
Yeah, of course. He had Maneater Bug, which is big. But Joey, with the heart of the cards, best duelist in the game, personally. Yeah. Time Wizard.
I don't even think it's personally. He is the best. He won.
Time Wizard.
Later on.
Yeah, I know. And
Time
listen,
Wizard
and
Dragon.
He successfully activated Time Wizard's effect, flipping a coin, getting heads, destroying all the opponent's monsters. If you flip tails, you destroy your monsters, right? And he had Baby Dragon on the field, and he polymerized them into Thousand Dragon.
Thousand Dragon is insane.
So
not a very
crazy.
Strong card, but
yeah, destroyed it. My lost. It was wild. So
next is Yugi again.
Yeah, but which I guess because we introduced like so many characters, like which character do you like?
Yo,
we'll take
my favorite character.
We'll take little pauses, like talking about the duels in the anime.
We're not going to talk about all of them.
Right. We're going through and looking at the major ones, and then kind of just talking about it. So, Joey Wheeler's your favorite? Joey Wheeler's
my favorite, right? His character is hilarious, just like that's Yukimoto's best friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Living his best life, always together. Tristan and T. Gardner's always there, but they're not as close as Joey Wheeler. And Joey Wheeler is still like, he never loses confidence in himself. He's never like, I'm the worst duelist. People would always think, even Kaiba in the original series was like, you're trash. You're not even a 5-star duelist.
He was kind of trash
here, right? But he proved himself. He survived one of Ra's attack later on.
Yeah, we'll get to that because
he ended up with God cards. Very strong. People didn't understand how he went from weak to strong. I think it is playing with people that are above his level at the time, all the time.
Oh, a lot. That's really what Joey's good for is punching up. He doesn't punch down.
Right.
I think that's his go-to. You know what I mean? He's never taking the easy way out. He doesn't care. He's fighting.
And he's very caring, which is crazy. All the people he duels, he's not trying to hurt them, do anything. If it's a good duel, he lets them know, hey, that was a good duel.
Yeah, good fucking
even
work.
if he loses.
Right.
Right. Who's your favorite character?
So, I think look-wise, I honestly like Mako Tsunami, who has Legendary Fisherman. His whole character is really cool. He's from an ocean village, and just his whole backstory, and using obviously
Yep.
A water deck is pretty cool. I like his whole vibe. I also like Bakura. Uh,
Bakura is a
yeah,
strong character.
yeah. So I like him just because he's also has he has the Millennium Necklace.
Yep.
So he has an evil spirit trapped inside of him for people that don't know. And he is in search of all the Millennium pieces to basically rain down destruction on the whole world. But then he tries to play it off as this like soft-spoken like kid. It's basically he basically has DID or dissociative identity disorder. He doesn't know.
It's all these. There's so many side characters that they get in depth about in Yu-Gi-Oh that people wouldn't even understand.
Yeah, they do a really good job of like
even Bandit Keith. He has like his own side story.
Bandit Keith, my guy.
He's no one's favorite. Let's be honest.
Pegasus kills Bandit Keith in the manga.
Oh,
kills him.
Yeah, kills him. Also, Dark Magician is a baddie.
Dark Magician Girl. Jesus.
That one's for Nando.
Yeah, for real though. Yeah. So they're just going through like your normal duels, right? In the Duelist Kingdom tournament, Yami Yugi faces Mako, Tsunami. Relatively quick duel. He beats him in 12 turns.
12 turns.
But they weren't like rivals or anything like that. So like Weevil's like, oh shit, I really lost. Mako's like, fuck, dude, good job.
I'm the best.
Yeah, exactly. But he was trying to get that. He was trying to win prize money for a boat for his so he could go like fishing and things like that. So
yeah, that's his only motive. And he's like, I can do this.
Yeah, he beats him with
12 turns.
He beats him with Cursed Dragon and activated Burning Land to destroy Mako's monsters.
I will
wild
say a lot of these people, a lot of them don't have multiple decks.
No,
right? So they're always using the same deck nonstop. Of course, there's gonna be some decks that are better against others. A stronger deck might be a more quicker deck. Some people want to stall more, wait till they have 0 cards. If you get to 0 cards, can't attack and the other person can, you lose.
Right.
You only allow 8 cards in your hand. Some people force draws. Make sure they have more cards than that, so they have to get rid of all their cards.
Right. Listen, man.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
So Joey gets his main card right after that Mako duel though. So because Rex, I don't know if you remember this, Rex Raptor is the original guy with red eyes.
Yeah.
And Joey duels Rex in a pretty lengthy duel. Yeah, again with Time Wizard, right? So it's
hey, Time Wizard is that card.
Yeah, he succeeds, and then it's bad, dude. He gets that all the time. So Joey gets more chips and moves on. In the meantime, Yami and Bakura are fighting each other.
Yami and Yami?
Yeah, are fighting each other in a Shadow Realm duel, right? So like he tried to like play it off, right? He was like acting all friendly, things like that.
Yeah. But he was taken over, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He was taken over.
He had a Millennium piece.
Yeah, it's not the Millennium Necklace. It was the Millennium Ring, which he wore as a necklace. It's the same deal.
But a lot of the other Millennium puzzles, it's more of a takeover, where Yami Yugi is
right
very friendly with his host. He's like, oh, I'm gonna share this body with you, and the other ones are trying to take over person to person, whoever has the piece.
yeah. So this one was the most interesting one because it was the first time it was like, oh, we're playing for like high stakes. You know what I mean?
We're playing for life.
Right. And after Yugi wins, Yami Bakura, so not the guy that was possessed by.
Right.
is trapped in the graveyard,
Right.
or killed basically.
Well, they show in the anime series that he's in a graveyard and there's
Mhm.
people wandering around, but as I know, the manga literally says like there's dead people walking. Uh, very, it actually looked pretty gruesome. Like basically killed them.
Yeah, the manga's so cool. I've been looking for it. I can't find it. I want to read it. Um, but yeah, this is the first like time it took like a dark turn.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we go through a there's a
Second time.
What do you mean?
Well, his grandfather.
Yeah, but they showed that. But they showed that as a video, right? So like, you're watching it as like a child or something along that line. You're like,
oh, he's in the TV.
He's in the TV, exactly. This guy's like, no, you're in the fucking graveyard, and that's exactly, and that's really it. So there's more duels that go on. We're not gonna get into all of them, but Mai faces Panic. Yami faces Panic. So Yugi faces Panic.
Joey Wheeler.
Faces
Kaiba.
He got the shit kicked out of him, I'm pretty sure, in that duel.
Yeah, and that's when Kaiba was like, "You're weak.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me, you idiot."
Yeah, he normal summons Blue Eyes and destroys Red Eyes.
I don't know how Bandit Keith ended up facing Pegasus, but that happened.
That did happen.
I don't know why it was happening, but
because that's where it was in the tournament, right?
Right.
Just that's where they ranked, so they were up to.
Oh, right, because Pegasus, after everyone came in with the stars, was like, "We're all gonna do a big tournament." That's right.
Right. Yeah. And then
that Bones Joey Wheeler was really good.
Bones Joey Wheeler.
Yeah.
So again, it wasn't a long duel, or it was a long duel. Another 24 turns.
Right.
Joey has a lot of.
Well, he has a lot of screen time.
Yeah. So
a lot of duels. That one specifically, Bones came in.
Uses the Pumpkin King.
Right. He has the 3 high level monsters out.
Yep.
2050, a 1750, and an 1850, and Joey Wheeler doesn't have any monsters. Bones goes, boom! I summon. Or no, he did have monsters. He had Battle Ox out, and he had Flaming Sword Knight. Both got destroyed. Looks like the end for Joey Wheeler, but he believes in the heart of the cards. Kills his monsters again. Call of the Haunting comes out.
Oh, fucking loved Call of the Haunting.
So all 3 monsters came back. Destroyed the monster again. Joey Wheeler's again about to lose. And Joey Wheeler plays a card. It was like Warrior something. It's 1,000 or 700 attack, 1,000 defense, and he plays a card that switches everyone's attack and defense.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, Bones only had like 800 life points left. Well, when you use Call of Haunting, everyone's defense is 0.
Yeah, it's called Sword and Shield and Sword. And it switches the attack and defense of all monsters on the field. And the only reason why that worked is because zombie monsters don't have any defense.
Yep. So he was able to attack him one more time, destroy his monster, and win the duel.
Yeah.
I thought that was sick.
And again, he won with Red Eyes, I think, or Battle Warrior. He won with Battle Warrior.
No. He won that with like a small level monster.
Yeah, Battle Warrior, 700 attack, 1,000 defense. Yeah, and Shield and Sword. That's how he won.
Yep, that was awesome. Yo.
Yeah, so I mean, Bones, Bandit Keith, and Panic are all like kind of working together in this section. So, remember Keith like trapped Bones and Wheeler in the like cave where they were battling, or
it was
whatever.
In the graveyard. They called it the graveyard.
Yeah, no, it was an entrance of a cave. It was a cave. For that.
Maybe the battlefield turned into the graveyard.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Through a field spell.
Yep. But then they go on. They get out of that situation. All of that fun stuff.
Joey Wheeler fights again.
Y- yeah, but
with a
this time
double
it's
duel.
this it's the first ever double duel that we saw with the Paradox
Yep.
brothers, right? So, and this one was cool because they had the Thunder Giant,
Yep.
and Labyrinth Wall. It was the first time we saw Labyrinth Wall. 0 attack, 3,000 defense. And remember
I
they
think
had
we
to. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think that's the first time we saw like people use spells for each other too
Yes.
to help other characters draw,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was like it absolutely blew my mind. I was like, oh, they could play together. I don't know if anyone played like Pot of Greed or something. It might have. And he's like, I played this so my uh, other person could draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
My partner, which is I think that's crazy. You sacrifice each other's monsters to get bigger monsters.
They used Mirror Force in that duel too.
Yeah.
Fucking Mirror Force.
I don't remember who has it, but I remember I was playing the game.
Yep.
They must have been playing by ancient rules because I got hit with like a heavy storm or a dark hole or something, and I was like, that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Forbidden cards.
So all I'll say is Yugi and Joey were obviously lucky that they had the heart of the cards, and Yugi got that spellbinding circle that trapped Gate Guardian because they were about to lose. So
that's heart of the cards right there, though.
Yeah, and then and then he got a fucking Monster Reborn.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You're only allowed 1 nowadays, though.
Yes.
And then one of those and 1 monster reincarnation, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think you get more than that.
And then they did like it wasn't back and forth, right? So it was like one and then the other. And so I don't know if you remember this, but Yugi attacked with Dark Magician and they got down to like a small amount of life points. And then he used Monster Replace, which was, I don't even know if it's a real card or not, but it allowed Yugi to switch Dark Magician and Black Skull Dragon, which
Joey, they combined with Summon Skull and
Red Eyes Black Dragon.
No idea where they got that card. It was just came out of nowhere. They're just like, I got this card.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But then they used Monster Replace and they were allowed to attack again. Yugi was allowed to attack again, which is wild.
It's a new card. It's a new card. Which technically it's already past his attack phase.
Yeah.
He was in his standby phase too, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is unless he chained it to his attack, which he I don't know.
I think one of the most fucked up duels happens a little bit right after that, right? It is right after that. Yugi and Kaiba fight, and this is probably one of the worst episodes for me. Kaiba is about to lose, and he threatens to jump off the cliff. He was like, I'm going to go...
myself.
Yeah, and then I don't know if we can say that on Twitch or not, but he's like, oh, I better not lose, or I'm gonna
do something.
I hate to slip right here, and so Yugi like doesn't attack him, and then loses. Blue Eyes crushes him or whatever, which is
it's crazy because he would have lost twice.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time was with Exodia, the second time was without, so it's like proving himself to be a.
And that's in the basically the semifinals.
Right.
And then
Pegasus.
Right. So exactly. So Pegasus would fight whoever Kaiba and Yugi won.
Was there a reason for the next fight?
Yeah, to see who would fight Yugi in the third place. That fight is Tia and Mai. Tia uses a fairy deck. She's just kind of a side character. They get into her story. She's part of the Frank group.
She's a Sakura.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like a Sakura in Naruto. Naruto.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they just kind of keep going. They battle. Kaiba and Pegasus duel to get Mokuba's.
And he lost.
Mokuba's like soul back, right?
Right, he's in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, and then...
Oh, no, he wasn't in the Shadow Realm. He was just held hostage.
Yeah, and then Pegasus kicks the shit out of him. So Pegasus' deck is so cool, right? Toon World is Toon crazy. World, so fun.
I will say some of my favorite cards come from there just because it's what you would call everyone's favorite cards. Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Summon Skull. but then you make them a toon form, you have a crazy cartoon type. You know, the attacks really don't change, but some of the effects might. They get extra bonuses based on other cards he has. Like Toon World turns him into a toon, able to summon. And then he had a couple other cards that, you know, if it's a toon monster, you get 200 attack, you get 200 defense, and everything just starts stacking on and on. All of a sudden, you got 3,000 monsters, and other people can't really compete.
Right. So in the Duelist Kingdom, just because it's weird, right, and plot armor, Yugi didn't lose like all his stars or some shit when he lost to Kaiba, and then so he's able to go and fight Mai and beat Mai. And
shorter, I think.
Yeah, and then Joey Wheeler's still battling Bandit Keith and all that kind of stuff because Keith had stolen some remaining stars from somewhere, things like that. And then to the final, so Kaiba lost. He's in the Shadow Realm or whatever. Joey Wheeler versus Yugi, big duel.
That wasn't when he was taken over, right?
What do you mean?
There was like a part where Joey Wheeler got taken over. I don't think that's this fight.
No. So this one, he was like, I need to win that prize money for Serenity because my sister is like blind or some shit like that.
Sick or something.
Yeah. His sister's
and
operation.
He's like, I'm gonna save Kaiba.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna save Mokuba and all that kind of stuff. You know. But.
Right, he gets the pace.
Yeah, he gets to fight Pegasus, but because the prize money, right? Joey was like trying to offer the glory to the king's hand. It was a card, and it was like, you get this amount of prize money. And Yugi's like, here you go, best friend, and gives it to Joey. And then Joey's like, oh, and then that's like a heartfelt moment. And then
he's like, Yugi!
Yeah, my Yugi boy. And then,
Yugi. That's what Pegasus calls him.
Yeah, no.
Yugi, my boy.
Then we get into the great duel of Yugi and Pegasus.
That's the final right there.
Yes. Toon World, Relinquish, right?
Some Toon Summon Skull was played. I think he took Yugi's and turned them into a Toon. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Like a Monster Reborn or something.
Right.
Monster Switch. And I think, was that the first time we saw counters as well?
No, I don't.
Like
I don't think so, because you saw like Mirror Force and things like that.
I meant like substitute cards kind of thing. I don't remember.
What do you mean
there was any
substitute cards?
Kind of like tokens.
No, I don't think so.
Or was it just I believe it might have just been an honest duel.
Yeah, I think it was straight up. It was Toon World and Pegasus took over Summon Skull, and then Toon World turned him into Toon Summon Skull, which doesn't do that.
It doesn't do that at all. You got to have Toon Summon Skull.
But okay.
You saw Mermaid.
Yep, you saw Toon Mermaid, Dark Magician and Magical Hats, and then
Dark Magician Girl as well.
Yeah, and
that's how we won that with Magical Hats, right? In Dark Magician.
I think it's.
He didn't have any God cards yet. I don't think.
So I don't remember, right? But what I do remember is Yami and Yugi had to switch bodies back and forth. Remember, because Pegasus's Millennium Eye allows him to see the cards. And to like read minds to know what's going on. So Yugi was kind of getting stomped out. So what they decided to do is just switch back and forth every turn. So the other person wouldn't know what he's doing, and they just had to believe in like the heart of the cards.
Believe in their own like ability to duel, like how each other would do it, because they're two different duelists.
And halfway through, Pegasus turns that thing into a goddamn shadow duel. Halfway through, not even to start.
He said something like, based on my Millennium Eye, I could turn this into a shadow duel, and you will be gone forever if we lose. Like, what the...
Yeah.
That don't make no sense, man.
It's basically like a life or death game of cards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Yugi wins. He beats Relinquished, Magician of Black Chaos. beats him. So that was a big moment. Getting everybody back, all that type of stuff. That's really the end of like the major like battle.
That's a major.
I love Duelist Kingdom. It's one of my favorite arcs of any anime that I've watched.
It was so good. It kept you on your toes.
It's if
you're looking for
really
something
good.
with no filler, like there's barely any filler either. Like it's all battles.
There is no filler in that first section. It's straight, just going at it. Right. Which is awesome.
So let's talk about your favorite deck.
To use or just in like the anime?
Let's talk about in the anime. Because we'll stick away from what we like to use personally, like creating. Because nowadays it's a little bit different. I'm talking about original series decks that people would have used.
If I was in Duelist Kingdom, I really like Bandit Keith's. Because Barrel Dragon is nasty. Yep. It's got a great.
Bandit Keith's hard to beat in the game.
Yeah,
too.
It's a great effect. He uses a machine deck. He's also got like the XYZ fighters and like the.
And it doesn't have to be just in Duelist Kingdom either.
Right. Yeah. So, if it was just Duelist Kingdom, it would be that. I really end up liking Merrick's deck or not Merrick's deck. The unnamed. He's like unnamed Duelist 2 or whatever like that.
Yep.
And it is he is the guy with Slifer, Jam, Revival Jam, and and the spell card that allows it to like coming back.
Yeah.
So I really like that card because he has infinite hands too, right? So he has infinite hands, so he can keep drawing. And Slifer's deck is like 1,000 times the number, or 100, or no, it's 1,000 times the number of cards in your hand.
The number of cards.
So I love that deck. If it wasn't Duelist Kingdom specifically, if it was throughout the whole anime, it would be those two decks. Bandit Keith.
I would say one of my favorite decks would be Esperoba's deck.
Yeah, the
Jinzo,
right? Yeah.
I forgot what his effect is. It's like destroy spell cards or trap cards, or it doesn't deal with any spells. And then also in his deck he had brain control or monster control. It was the one with like the hands above the brain.
Yeah.
Take control, like he takes control of the opponent's monster until the card's destroyed. But if the spell card's destroyed, the monster's also destroyed. Kind of a cheap way to actually go about the duel, because someone could be like, oh, I got this. Let's say someone had Slifer, they'd be like, okay, well, brain control.
Right.
Which I don't think you can use brain control either. A lot of ban cards happen after the first season, make it more even.
What is Jinzo's effect?
I'm not exactly sure.
I'm looking it up real quick. You can keep going.
Yeah. And then I'd say the second deck wasn't Kaiba's first deck, but the second deck when he got Blue Eyes Ultimate, he got Obelisk, another God card.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of traps and spells to summon Blue Eyes, because that's when they actually started showing you need to sacrifice 2 monsters.
Yeah.
He did crazy stuff like, I sacrifice these 2 Blue Eyes and I play this card and it allows me to summon them. And then he was able to sacrifice, I think at one point he had Obelisk and
Blue Eyes Ultimate out, at the end.
At the same time.
Wild.
I think Obelisk, he wasn't able to sacrifice for it or something. He had to do a certain
you have to get rid of
effect.
Yeah, you have to get rid of like 3 dark type monsters and 3 light type monsters or something like that.
Right, you have to banish them completely from the field.
Jinzo,
depending on their attack, that's what Obelisk's attack is.
No, he's 4,000 always.
4,000 always.
Yeah. So Ra is like that. What do you sacrifice for?
Whatever you banish off the field from your graveyard.
Exactly.
Ra was a sick card too.
So Jinzo disables all trap cards on the field. You can't play trap cards. So,
which is awesome. There's so many
Yes.
trap cards there. Trap hole,
Mirror Force.
mirror force. Oh, so many.
Well,
Like
chain destruction, right? That's one.
chain destruct. Yep.
Yeah. So it, like when you play it, it destroys the monster and any other monsters named the same
Yep.
in the thing in your
And,
deck.
and back then there was a lot of monsters called the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
How do you feel about Pot of Greed, my dude?
Pot of Greed. I love Pot of Greed.
Allow no more feels bad, right?
But there's a lot of different pots in Yu-Gi-Oh now. There's
Right.
like
There's a trap one.
there's ones that let you draw one card. There's like Jar of Greed, which is a trap card.
That's yep.
Um,
You get rid of one card, you draw a new one.
yeah, yeah. So, are your favorite decks based around your favorite cards in the series that you like?
Honestly, no. I just think those decks are
Right.
easier to use. I really liked how they use them, able to
Yeah.
utilize their actual monsters. I'd say favorite card would be Wing Karibo, or one of them.
Wayne Karibo or regular? Probably regular Karibo, right? Because that's what he was using.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So it'd be Karibo then, but he had a bunch of spell and trap cards to
Yeah.
utilize them, which a lot of people didn't understand. How is this little tiny?
Hot take: I hated
Monster.
Yugi's decks.
I
Hated them.
Did you hate when he had like the machine deck?
I just don't. I didn't.
I like the machine deck that he had. Though,
So everything was based around just the heart of the cards.
well, I feel like the machine deck was a little bit different. You know, he would get I don't remember the names like Magnet Warrior. Like
Yeah.
That deck was awesome. It wasn't about heart of the cards. It was about getting the monsters and then connecting them. There was another battle where I can't remember the guy's name that had it, but there was a bunch of machine monsters. And
Yeah.
he would connect them all. It wasn't
Yeah.
Yuki's thing.
It was Bandit Keith had him, and it's the
Bandit Keith,
XY catapult or
Yep.
Y head dragon, X tiger, Y dragon, and Z tank or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was XYZ monsters. Yeah. Yeah, I picked that as one of my favorite decks. That was
It's a sick deck.
it's a great deck. I don't really like any of Yugi's decks. I also don't like Joey's decks.
But Joey is the best character.
I can't
Okay.
I can't deal
And he's
with
also the best duelist.
he might be. He
Most
is
controversial.
the only person to beat Winged Dragon of Ra without another
God card.
god card. So
Which no one can say that.
it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, Bandit Keith, things like that.
What about yours? What would you say?
Favorite cards? Magical Hats is one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, I can see that. Magic Hats is
It's a dope
really
card.
card.
I love Magical Hats. If I love Brain Control.
Yep.
And similar to like my deck picks, I love the whole Revival Jam, Infinite Hands, the Returning Alive card, or
Yep.
if that is just that, and Slifer combination. That deck is crazy. I love all those cards.
Deck you had growing up, it would always the first deck you would make, even in a new series, or if we'd stop playing, would always be a dragon something deck.
Yeah, so dragon decks are great because they're like
very easy to use.
Very
strong monsters.
Yeah, you don't have to think really, right? So nowadays you would have to, but back then it was straight up. It was Luster Dragon, right?
Black Luster Dragon or whatever.
Yeah, it was Luster Dragon, which was a 1900 attack. There was Luster Dragon number 2, and then there was like the Dragon Dwelling in the Cave, which had high defense. And
2000 defense.
Those would obviously lead you up to some of the higher monsters, you know, the 3 blue eyes, things like that.
Dwelling in the Cave was a 5-star monster?
No, it was a 4-star, but it was 2000 defense, but it was like 500 attack. They're
you can
just
get creative.
yeah, they were
Well.
just really easy to use. So that's why we would do it like that. But and because dragons, I think, look the coolest.
Yeah, what was the card you would fuse with Gaia the Warrior, the dragon? Can't think of his name.
Cursed dragon, and it
First
returned.
dragon and
Yeah,
Yugi used that a lot.
yeah. Cursed dragon would
Yeah.
Yugi would use Cursed dragon and Gaia together. That fusion.
I will say, I'm not a big fan of Beaver Warrior.
Beaver Warrior is not your jam. What about Celtic Warrior?
Celtic Warrior is not my jam either. What a bunch of. Then you had what's the. There was another warrior in the same deck.
Yeah,
He was all black. I can't think of his name, but he was useless as well.
yeah. That's not for me.
He was definitely the heart of cards back then.
That was it. That was literally it. But whatever. So the second major like tournament, right, is the Battle City tournament.
Right there, that's all of the last season.
Yeah. I mean, you can consider
the last part.
You consider the Domino City battles as like
Part of it.
a smaller arc that fits into the end of Duelist Kingdom. Because it shows that's where you get your flashback episode you were talking about with Solomon and and going through the tombs and all of that type of stuff.
Joey Wheeler versus Mai again.
You do, and
you get Joey Wheeler versus Duke Devil, and Joey loses.
Yeah, Duke Devlin and what was it called? Dungeon Dice Monsters or something like that.
Yeah.
What is it called? Some crazy thing. I didn't like it. But Battle City. Kaiba's tournament this time, not Pegasus's, to regain his former glory as number one duelist in the whole world. Because I am Seto Kaiba, and I am a G. We go through. It goes through all of a few couple battles. Then we get introduced to rare hunters, which are people that go and they're looking for the strongest cards. Rare cards, obviously. And then we start to learn that they are possessed by somebody when they lose. It turns out to be the overarching villain, Merrick.
Also known as the person you do not know.
That's right.
Can't see.
That's right. And then that just goes through. We go through. We meet Esperoba. She beats Rex Raptor. Joey Wheeler beats her to get Jinzo. I like the way Joey Wheeler says Jinzo in dub. It's very funny. And then, it just goes through the tournament. Kaiba beats people.
Let me tell you what, Joey Wheeler beats everyone.
Yeah, one of my favorite duels from this is Yami and Arcana's duel, which is like the two spellcaster decks, right?
Yep.
Because Arcana used that cool like alternate art Dark Magician, and Yugi had the regular one.
Right.
So I love that whole battle. That wasn't too long of a battle, but he wins with Dark Magician Girl.
That's when he had all the Magnet Warriors.
Yes. Yep. And he used Big Shield Garna and King of the Mythical Beast and things like that in that duel.
Yep.
So I love that duel. That duel is one of my favorite. The return of Weevil Underwood and Joey Wheeler. Joey gets a little payback, for his buddy. He's like, I'll put you in the dirt. And then at the end of that we get introduced to Merrick Ishtar, which
versus
is
Yugi.
Which is the bad guy.
I consider him the second villain, right? Because third. So you call the first one Kaiba.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Then you got Pegasus.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the card hunters, but I don't really count.
Well, rare hunters, they worked for Merrick, so.
Right. So they're just underlings.
Yeah.
And then you got Merrick, which has god cards.
Yeah, I would say he's the overarching bad guy in this, right? So I would consider Kaiba more of the rival to Yugi.
Right.
Um,
Not in the beginning.
and then
But,
Pegasus. No, even in the Duelist Kingdom tournament, right? Like I would consider Kaiba the rival, who's a bad guy, but he's not like bad. He's like He's second bad, sort of like Yami Bakura, right?
yep.
And then Pegasus is the overarching villain of the arc. And then in this one, Merrick is the overarching villain of the arc. Kaiba's still a douchebag, right?
Pegasus like turns a leaf, doesn't he?
Pegasus gets got. He loses his
He loses his eye, but I think he's still in the anime. He was still alive.
yeah, he's still around kicking
And
it.
he was around, and the headhunters and Merrick like came to him, and he lost a duel to Merrick.
Right.
Just like in a flashback.
Yeah, and he gets his eye taken and is sent to the Shadow Realm.
Yep. Yep. And it's just like, wow. Later, Pegasus. But later on, past this season, Pegasus does come back because he creates more technology with Kaiba. And we're not gonna get into that now, but then you get Jade and Yuki in GX, and they actually like reference a lot of stuff from the original show.
Right. So Merrick has Ra. He has the Millennium Rod, which is possessed by the bad Merrick. It's so hard, right? Because it's like it's Yami Merrick.
The Merrick Ishtar.
Right, and Merrick Ishtar, just like it's Yami Yugi and Yugi Moto. Yami must mean something that we're just not smart enough to realize or ever put together like that, because it's like Yami Bakura and Bakura. So
two different people.
Dumb as shit we are.
Where's Yami Pegasus?
Yeah, for real though.
Where's Yami Pegasus?
So yeah, they battle. I don't remember who wins that duel. I think it came out as a draw. No, Yugi won.
Yugi won
because he took over.
Normal.
Yeah, he took over a person and was using. Right. This was the Revival Jam battle with Slifer. This is where Yugi gets his Slifer, the Sky Dragon, his Egyptian God card. And then we get down to the final four or whatever, right? Where it's Yugi, Kaiba, Merrick, and Joey. Good for Joey getting in there. But then they have a team duel. We don't see enough. I feel like we don't see enough double duels in the show.
Right. Right. It wasn't shown a lot, but they do happen.
Yeah. This one was like, yeah. This one was cool. It had two winners, right? Kaiba and Yugi won together. So
it was a 4-way. So like, one person could attack one person or attack another person. It would go like in a big circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure some people had cards like it skips this person's turn, kind of like Uno.
Yeah. It was
really weird.
It was really weird. But Kaiba and Yugi ended up winning. Which set them up for the finals, right? Or put them in like the 1 and 4 seed or the 1 and 2 seed, and the 3 and 4 seed would go to Joey and Kaiba, or Joey and Merrick. And this is where we get the best duel in the whole series: Joey Wheeler versus Merrick, evil Merrick. Merrick using Winged Dragon of Ra and a Lava Golem.
Right.
Joey still using the same cards he always uses, plus Jinzo.
Joey Wheeler survives an attack.
Joey Wheeler.
Winged Dragon of Ra.
Joey Wheeler survives an attack from Winged Dragon of Ra.
And no one's seen it before.
Destroys Winged Dragon of Ra.
Seto Kaiba, and Yugi's rival, tells him Joey Wheeler is now a great duelist.
He is about to win, and he passes out.
Yep. I believe during this, you would get hurt.
Yes, you would.
You would get hurt. Your life points equaled your actual life.
Yeah,
which I'm pretty sure in the manga, you would almost die.
Yeah, Joey had like 10 or 100 life points left or something stupid like that.
Yeah. Then he was just sitting there.
And he passed out. He ended up being in a coma for 3 days, where he had some like side duels that was a little bit of filler, where he's basically fighting or dueling his past selves and things like that to get out of it. And Merrick's all like, fucking, don't fucking talk to me. I won anyways. Like, it's just salty that his shit got.
Yeah.
Kaiba and Yugi fight again. Yugi wins again.
Yugi's too good. Kind of cheating, to be honest with you. Just the heart of the card is too OP.
Yeah. So that sets up Yami, Yugi, and Yami Merrick for the finals, and then, or the grand finals, right? And then Joey and Seto fighting for third place and fourth place. Kaiba beats Joey, and then tries to leave by blowing up the whole island. He's like, fuck this, I'm out, I don't care. Ishizu, which is Merrick's sister and also a holder of a Millennium Piece, tries to convince Kaiba to stay and watch the finals, to try to like be like, hey, fucking Yugi's gonna need your help to help my brother. And Kaiba's like, fuck this noise. And
I'm about to murk everyone.
Yeah, I'm about to blow this whole place up. And then Merrick and Yugi have the final duel of that whole arc, where Yugi is fighting and it looks like he's losing, but then Merrick is like battling himself inside and regaining control, and eventually Merrick surrenders after. And that's how it's over. So it's plot armor, and that's how
plot armor and then plot nerd.
That's how Battle City ends, and then they get into some like weird like other arcs that are okay, but just watch Duelist Kingdom and Battle Cities arcs. Those,
and then you're good.
Yeah.
Probably need to watch.
And then you can watch, and then you can watch the end, which is like the ceremonial battles, where Yugi and Yami Yugi fight, or not fight, but duel inside the Millennium Puzzle.
And I think little Yugi wins.
Yes.
Believing in the heart of the cards that his grandfather originally gave him.
Heart of the fucking cards.
Easy win, easy dub.
It's, and that's really how like the series ends. Not series. Well, that like
that arc,
that whole story, original Yu-Gi-Oh ends. Right. There's a lot of ups and downs. It's 226 episodes, so it's not too crazy.
Well,
just so you know,
it's basically watching Hunter x Hunter over again.
Yeah.
With no filler.
Right. Yeah. Well,
there's
very
not
few.
A lot of filler.
There is some, but
I'd say out of the 220 episodes, less than 10%.
Yeah, there's probably about 20 episodes I would say that are filler in that series. Duels do kind of take a little bit, but so did all 90s anime to do stuff. They
well, you got Pokemon battles last forever.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z lasts forever.
Yeah.
It's normal.
You have any final thoughts about Yu-Gi-Oh in general?
People need to watch it.
Where does your rank?
Rank?
Yeah, rank it.
Well, it's hard. Out of my original anime, I would rather watch Yu-Gi-Oh than watch Pokemon. Personally.
Whoa. It's because you're younger than I am.
But just personally, I thought, I don't know if it's more of it's more gruesome.
Right.
I'd say.
Yep.
Just it's less for kids, not for kids. I feel like even if you're an adult, you can really enjoy it.
Right.
Not saying you can't enjoy Pokemon, but I feel like you get a feel for the characters and also like how they're battling. It's more methodical. I feel like it's not just yelling a name saying.
And the card game's crazy.
The card game is insane. You can still get into it now.
Card game's peak.
I would, because Yu-Gi-Oh definitely had the better card game in general. Because the time it was Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh, you would collect Pokemon cards, but you would battle with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right.
So you had to have both.
Right.
And I used remember back in the day, have
the dual discs.
The dual
Shit,
disc.
dude. Fucking right, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. No,
I'd rank it real high though.
It's good. It's good. I don't think people realize, or maybe they do, and maybe I'm just dumb. They don't realize how good it was and maybe
I think it was 5.
going back and listening to or watching the sub version instead of the dub version, where they censored out a lot of stuff
Right.
for WB kids or whatever.
Right.
Maybe that would add some stuff for you.
Very slept on. You know, when it was coming out, you had Pokemon,
Dragon
Dragon Ball
Ball,
Z,
Full Metal Alchemist,
Fullmetal
Gundam,
Alchemist, Death Note,
Death Note.
Hunter x Hunter. No, not Hunter. It's 2011. But
Yeah, no, that's
Hunter
too
x Hunter original series.
Yeah, original
97
series.
version.
Yeah.
That was coming out still. I think
Yeah.
that went to 90 episodes, which was big for the time.
Right.
Right. Sailor Moon's still out,
Yep.
and there's even more. They just had more popularity. I feel like. Didn't know if who wrote Yu-Gi-Oh, what or animated it. You know.
Studio.
Because Yu-Gi-Oh's well, actually, it does have shonen vibes.
Yeah. What would you call it? Is it shonen? It's Toei animation.
Yeah, it's pretty close to a shonen, I'd say. I don't know how to exactly describe it because there's slice of life values in it,
There is slice of life values in it.
right?
I was actually thinking about that earlier. I was like, well,
Let's see what people say.
is it technically an isekai for the Pharaoh's perspective though?
Well, it's not through specifically. Well, no, because they're not reborn into another world. They're reborn into the same world, which makes it a little weird.
Just time travel, I guess. Right. Yeah, I don't know what I would. It's definitely slice of life vibes, and it's definitely
It's in Shonen Jump.
yeah.
It's a shonen.
So it's a shonen, definitely.
Yep. Adventure fiction, science fiction, or
Yeah.
science fantasy.
So that's fair.
And it really does have aspects of shonen.
Everything. Yeah.
With the power of friendship, I win, and you lose, even though you're a better duelist.
And the heart of the cards, dude.
And through my millennia puzzle, I am gonna beat you. And
Yeah.
very great anime.
It's really good. It's worth the watch. If not, just watch the Duelist Kingdom arc if you only have time to watch one. It's so good.
Right, and get a feel for it at first. A lot of people, I don't think, give enough chances. You know, they'll watch one episode and they'll just be like, all right, this is boring. Watch 3 or 4 episodes. You might get hooked, you might not. You know, a lot of people don't like the older art style.
Yeah, it is definitely. It definitely shows its age.
Especially people my age or even younger, they might not get it because of the animations. You know, they might want to start with a newer Yu-Gi-Oh. Not that I've watched a lot of them, but just because the animations are a little bit better, more fast-paced. They might think, oh, they're riding motorcycles or stuff like that. They might think that's cool. But for people that grew up, you know, they've probably seen Yu-Gi-Oh. I recommend.
Well, they definitely know what it is. Everybody knows what Yu-Gi-Oh is.
Right.
Because they confuse it with Pokemon all the time. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all we have, right?
Yeah. We will be back. Again, next week for sure. We are doing a Attack on Titan deep dive. It will host spoilers for the final part of the final season. We will dive into book 34 and 35. We will make sure that we say it before we say it.
In the title.
We will let you know that there will be spoilers when there's spoilers, so you can shut off the stream, shut off the video, things like that. But it will be spoilers because it is a big topic, the ending of Attack on Titan. And then
I can't wait.
I do not know. Nando will be back. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Slice of Laifu podcast. We have 15 subs. Thank you all for those who have subbed. We are starting to do the little weekly series. CJ and Nando, I'm pretty sure they'll have one. Wednesday. Have one this Wednesday, a Waifu Wednesday. that gets uploaded exclusively to the YouTube channel. Once we get our stream key, we will be streaming right to YouTube as well. So you can catch us both here on Twitch and over on YouTube. Once we get the YouTube thing going, we'll probably create a Twitch channel very similar to what we're doing here. So we're not just using one of ours. We're just using the Slice of Laifu podcast Twitch. Yeah. This is
I think that's all we have.
It's been real. Look at my cool Demon Slayer box set back there.
Hell yeah!
Dude.
I started reading Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Yeah, how do you like it so far?
I like it, but I can't find the movie anywhere.
I cannot either.
Which Crunchyroll's gonna have it. They've already said they.
Yeah.
But it's been so long already.
Just read it. Just read it.
Right.
It's good. You'll get everything. It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite if you're down here at the bottom. We'll be back. Full compliments of us. As always,
leave a like, comment.
Let us know what you want to see in the future for suggestions, and we will get into it. We're getting into a fun little end of the season coming up, so we can talk about season reviews, upcoming anime. There's a lot to look forward to. Stay tuned.
We also want to know what you guys want us to watch.
Yes.
We're very open-minded about anything. Nando won't watch One Piece, but
or Pokemon.
Anything else? Or Pokemon. I'm surprised he's actually watching Dragon Ball right now, so
that's right.
Look out for that deep dive. He's already watched Super, I believe, but hasn't watched the original Dragon Ball, and he's doing it the legit way, which we all love.
Yes, he is watching original Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball Z Kai. So good job, Nando. Get after it. Yeah. Let us know. All right. We are headed out. Thanks, everybody.